You can take a guy like Canelo. This guy can do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
You can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Floyd Mayweather has once again caused a commotion in the boxing community by criticizing Terence Crawford just after Canelo Alvarez's most recent bout. Mayweather, who is renowned for his unrivaled confidence and perfect record, showed no signs of holding back, indicating that he is prepared to return to the ring for another crucial fight. The possibility of Mayweather meeting Crawford, who is regarded as one of the sport's most formidable pound-for-pound fighters, has both fans and pundits giddy, adding a new level of intrigue and conjecture to boxing's constantly changing scene. There is a noticeable strain.
Let me ask you though, Canelo this week actually said something interesting. He goes that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like he is?
I think he's more all-rounded in some ways, but Mayweather was so good at certain things that made him impossible to beat. He really stuck to his niche of style, where Crawford kind of tries to fight the more honest, I guess, exciting, traditional way, being there, just moving out the way, landing the shot, where Mayweather would have you dancing around him and chasing him and falling short and falling in and countering the life out of you, and knew and understood 10-9 rounds better than anyone else. You only have to win 7, 10-9 rounds clear and you've won the fight as long as you don't get put down. And obviously he never really got put down. I know there's a few question marks, but for all intents and purposes never got put down, and he was the best, one of the best to ever do it. It's very hard to go a whole career undefeated.
Terence by defeating Canelo Alvarez by unanimous decision, Bud Crawford maintained his undefeated record and established himself as the undisputed super middleweight champion. One of the most eagerly awaited fights of the year, it took place on September 13, 2025, at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Crawford entered the arena with a great deal of confidence after moving up 2 weight classes for this bout. Even though Canelo was bigger and more powerful by nature, Crawford managed the pace and countered that advantage with deft footwork, punching, and combinations.
What did you think? What did you think of the fight?
Man, I loved it, man. I loved the fight, man. I loved the fight. I did not know how it was going to go. I didn't think the weight was going to be a problem for Terence Crawford. I'm on record as saying I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it stood to be seen. It needed to be seen, and I knew we would have known after the first, second, or third round. You feel what I'm saying? And when I seen how Canelo was respecting his jab and how Canelo was respecting his power from the very beginning, I knew how it was going to go. And I knew that Bud was only going to get stronger and get bolder and, start to wear him down, because Canelo is known to start to wear a little bit in the later round.
Everyone said that Crawford was not going to exchange tonight, and he traded with Canelo up close.
Man, Bud is the best, man. Bud is the best. I've been on wax and saying that, Bud. I've been on wax and saying that for a couple of years now. I bet against Bud on Spence. I bet against Bud on Porter. I didn't think that Bud was the best. I got to give it to him. Bud the best, right? He's hands down. He's the best. He's the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him his respect no matter what. You got to give him his respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do, and he is doing it with ease.
Break,
you got to respect that.
Break it down for me. How did he win that fight in the way he won it tonight?
He won the fight by gaining Canelo's respect. I think he was already in Canelo's head a little bit. I think that even though Canelo knew he was smaller and everything else, these fighters are still humans and they hear what the people are saying. Canelo was, Crawford was undefeated. Look at what he did to Spence. I mean, look at what he's doing to some of these people. So no matter what, I mean, you have to take that into consideration.
Mayweather Jr. bet on Terence Crawford for this bout because he trusted him to defeat Canelo Alvarez and had faith in his abilities. Mayweather wagered $50,000 on Crawford to win via moneyline at plus $148 odds, even though he was viewed as the underdog. Crawford won by unanimous decision, and Mayweather profited handsomely from his wager, earning $140,000. Mayweather's wager demonstrated his profound comprehension of boxing dynamics in addition to his faith in Crawford's skills.
Check this out, guys. Floyd Money Mayweather just shared on social media that he bet $50,000 on Crawford to win, and he won $75,000 back. So Crawford made Mayweather $74,000. Most people that I talked to were betting on Canelo. A few people bet on Crawford. How much money did you win on Crawford? $200 here, $200 there. But most people that I know bet on Canelo. And we'll hear from Canelo. We're going to hear from Crawford. And I'll keep you guys posted. But right now, Floyd Money Mayweather bet on Crawford and make some money. What do you want to see Crawford do next? What do you want to see Canelo do next? Let me know. Definitely interesting developments here tonight. When I watched the fight live, I thought Canelo won. I think Canelo won. I have to watch it again, but with no audio because I know the broadcasters were all against Canelo. They were all against him all week from their rivals. So I don't expect anything different.
Terence Crawford is currently the best boxer in the world, according to Mayweather, who has also made it plain where he stands in the pound-for-pound argument. After Crawford's impressive performance against Canelo Alvarez, Mayweather commended his versatility, discipline, and capacity to dominate several weight classes. For Mayweather, being pound for pound means continuously outperforming the best opponents in addition to taking home titles. And in his opinion, Crawford has done just that. By defeating top fighters and going undefeated, Crawford has solidified his reputation as the man to beat in contemporary boxing.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford.
Crawford has also respected Mayweather's style of boxing, including not only his prowess in the ring, but also the manner he handled his legacy and career. This admiration developed into a genuine relationship between the two over time. Mayweather has frequently given Crawford little hints and counsel, which he takes seriously. He puts the advice into practice rather than only hearing it. A deeper link built on ambition, legacy, and a common sense of what it takes to become a truly great athlete is evident in their relationship.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever... Keep it real, boss. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. I always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather, Canelo recently admitted candidly during a press conference. This claim was especially startling considering that Alvarez had lost to Mayweather for the first time of his career in 2013, when he was just 23 and undefeated. Crawford outboxed Alvarez throughout 12 rounds with an absolutely brilliant performance that included exceptional hand speed, footwork, and tactical accuracy. Crawford used a calculated defensive strategy and precise counterattacks to effectively neutralize Alvarez's power despite jumping up 2 weight categories.
It's with Fight Hub TV right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Champ, first off, I want to thank you for the illustrious career that you have given us in the game. You've been a steadfast professional in the way that you conducted yourself, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of the boxing media.
Thank you, sir.
Number
It's my
2,
pleasure.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, this was a fight that we haven't seen from you before. We've never seen you have the sustained and prolonged frustration during the fight. Was there a point in time where you figured that this just wasn't going to be my night, and if you did, when did that happen?
No, I never thought that. I always try. All the rounds I try, but you need to accept it, right? Sometimes you cannot go, and I try all the rounds. I never think about that because imagine. So I cannot think in that way, but I try my best tonight.
And lastly for me, Champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can?
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Regarding the continuing argument between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford, trainer Greg Hackett has stated that Mayweather is still the better fighter. Even though Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez in a spectacular fight, Hackett believes that Mayweather stands out due to his skill on defense and ring awareness. He notes Crawford's abilities but stresses that Mayweather's legacy, which is based on an unbeaten record and supremacy in a variety of weight classes, places him higher in the all-time rankings than Crawford. Hackett's viewpoint draws attention to the continuous debate among boxers about who the best of this age is.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
yeah, what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
to a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you were 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Don't you?
Want to make himself look like he did something great.
In a public statement, Eddie Hearn denied Canelo Alvarez's assertion that Terence Crawford is better than Floyd Mayweather Jr. Given that many of Crawford's opponents were past their best when he faced them, he contended that Crawford's CV falls short of Mayweather's. Hearn underlined that although Crawford has had some noteworthy victories, including as his most recent victory over Canelo, he does not have the range of outstanding triumphs against strong opponents in all weight classes that Mayweather amassed over his career.
The Floyd Mayweather that Canelo Alvarez fought.
Yeah.
In the last version of Terence Crawford that we've seen in the ring.
Yeah.
Who's the better fighter, Jay?
Of course you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time, Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence. His skill set, his IQ, you know what I'm saying? Everything he do, he was just a complete fighter that night. But I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we ain't know too much about. People don't understand how much a fighter could be thrown off by what he don't know. And the reason it throws you off is because you're actually learning about the fighter while you're in there. That's what Bud went up against that night. That's why he didn't look so great to me.
Floyd Mayweather will always be the greatest of all time, Moughton recently reaffirmed. Moughton stated unequivocally that for him, Mayweather's flawless record, ring IQ, defensive prowess, and constant dominance across weight classes set a standard few can equal, even in the face of the recent hype surrounding Terence Crawford's superiority. Moughton stressed that brilliance isn't limited to a single fight or occasion, even as he lauded Crawford's accomplishments, particularly his victory over Canelo. Longevity, unwavering excellence, and frequently creating history by going undefeated at the top are the key. Despite Crawford's status as an elite, Moughton thinks Mayweather's legacy endures on a higher plane.
Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. But I think Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. The thing is with Crawford, and I was kind of goading him on this, and it's not his fault, his resume's not that impressive. Like I said to him, tell me your best win ever. This is what I said to him. And you know what he said? Ricky Burns. Right? Now Ricky Burns is a great fighter. He's my guy. He's a 3-division world champion. But you can't say that he is, like one of the greats. He's one of the greats of Scottish boxing. But if you're talking about one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, it's not Terence's fault that he hasn't been able to get those fights, but a lot of the guys that he's fought have been done. Even arguably Ricky Burns at the time. I know he went on to win other world championships, but he was kind of on the slide at that time. Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Gamboa, all of these guys. Who else did he beat? Ndongo, like Errol Spence, another example. Terence is brilliant, but he's never actually really had many notable victories. This would be it. I mean, this would be an incredible achievement. But I just feel like at the age that they're at, like, what is going to happen in this fight? And I just see I don't think Terence, because he shouldn't, is going to take that many chances in the fight. He needs to use his movement, use his footwork, which Canelo doesn't like, and win rounds. And Canelo doesn't really like to force a fight. When did you last see Canelo really trying to get a finish?
Crawford, however, responded to the frequent Floyd Mayweather Jr. parallels by stating that each boxer needs to be understood in the context of their own time. Crawford claimed that it is unnecessary to make direct comparisons between him and Mayweather since he is the greatest of his time, just as the latter was in his. This viewpoint demonstrates Crawford's faith in his accomplishments and his ambition to leave a unique legacy in the sport, different from that of previous greats. There will be no haste to go into another fight following Terence Crawford's stunning victory over Canelo Alvarez, according to his longtime trainer Brian "Bow" McIntyre. Bomac underlined that Crawford recently won one of his greatest victories to date and merits some downtime instead of returning to training right after. He clarified that recuperation ought to come first following such a taxing 12 rounds and rigorous preparation. Bomac advised Crawford to take a well-earned break to rest and recover, rather than engaging in instant conversation about potential rivals. Rest is essential at this point, in his opinion, so Crawford may relish his accomplishment before thinking about the next phase of his illustrious career.
Where do you sit with this? Because two pound-for-pound greats of this era, Canelo, we see the resume, Crawford, two-time undisputed, potentially this weekend becomes 3. I've said in a few interviews, is it skills pay the bills, or does a good big man beat a good little man? How do you see it?
I feel like the skills pay the bills, and I feel like Crawford's not that much littler than Canelo. We've seen in the face-off that they're around the same size. If not, Crawford look a little bigger than. Yeah, for sure. So really just we're gonna see tomorrow. How it plays out. Whoever the better man is that night, I feel like will win. I feel like it's even playing fields, and both guys coming ready. So we're just gonna have to see.
If Terence does win this, a lot of people are saying that puts him as the greatest of all time. Now, I know it's hard because obviously you've been with Floyd, and a lot of people are saying Floyd is the greatest. But does that at least put him in that conversation with your Floyd Mayweathers, your Manny Pacquiao's, your Sugar Ray Leonard's, all the greats of the past, and obviously Canelo obviously as well because he'll be there. Does that put him there?
Yeah, for sure. Of course nobody will ever. I feel like Floyd will always be the greatest of all time.
After the Canelo bout, Terence Crawford's close friend Bernie Thigh Boxer delivered a scathing review, claiming that they attempted to defraud us. He claims that several of the rounds were unfairly awarded or scored too closely, and that the scoring did not accurately reflect Crawford's dominance throughout the fight. He claimed that Crawford dominated the fight, set the pace, displayed better boxing technique, and outworked Canelo by a wide margin. However, those aspects were not adequately rewarded by the judges' cards. Bernie feels that the margins on the scorecards were unfair even though the verdict was decided unanimously. His tirade demonstrates how contentious judgment still elicits strong feelings in boxing, even in cases where wins appear to be final.
You know what? We're going to get back in the gym. And we're going to assess that. And, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man, because we trained for probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
And what for you?
Yeah.
Damn. And for you? Hey, this is thing.
Appreciate you.
What you saying about training a half a year?
We trained almost a half a year for that fight. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was so sharp. Everybody.
Floyd Mayweather, on the other hand, has a distinct viewpoint on this fight because he faced and defeated Canelo Alvarez in 2013, when the latter was still unbeaten and rising quickly. That victory is still regarded as one of the high points of Mayweather's illustrious career, demonstrating his ring smarts and defensive prowess. Years later, Mayweather is now focusing on Terence Crawford, who recently defeated Canelo in a decisive manner. In addition to creating interest in the boxing community, Mayweather's decision to call out Crawford serves as a reminder to supporters that he still believes he can compete with the best.
This is the second time you destroy every myth. Can he take a punch? Is he strong? Is this guy too strong? Man, he did everything. He did everything, didn't he? Stood and fought with him. See how he
Was in the pocket.
grabbed him
Was in the pocket.
turned him, did everything. Talking about he too strong, turned him a couple times, pushed him. Crawford the best.
Do you believe that one of the greatest fights in history could be set up by Floyd Mayweather calling out Terence Crawford, or should money remain retired and allow Crawford continue the tradition? Please share your opinions in the comments section below.
You fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young. And he was like, that was when he was
No,
probably at
he was in
prime,
his
right?
prime, yeah.
Prime, and you're only 23.
20.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I tried to beat him because beat him. If you beat him, you gonna be the best in the world at 23. So imagine that. But he was the better man that night. A lot of experience. He's a great fighter. So, but I